All right, so I'll get it started. All right, Sandy, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to let Sandy start and take it over, and then we're going to get right into this conversation, and I'm so pumped about it. So take it away.
Good evening, prosperous people. How's everyone this evening?
Doing well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome to the 2017 Life Planning Lab information session. I'm Sandra Brown. I'm the founder of Straight to the Heart Mentoring and Coaching, where we get to the heart of the matter. And let me just share a little bit about our host for the evening. I connected with my, okay, I get ready to say I saw I was on mute. I connected with her several years ago after hearing her minister several times at a local church. And her zeal, her authenticity, and of course her love for Christ really stuck out to me. And I knew at that moment she had something that I needed to push me to the next level. Months later, she and her partner, Natasha, began offering a training program called Life Max 90. And I jumped on this offer, which actually proved to be a pivotal point in my life. During that time, they wanted to add a peer coach, and it was just like a divine connection. And I started working with them in the next session. And I am actually a graduate of the first Life Max 90 class. And both of these ladies are agents of change. Their desire is to help you live your life to the max. Tasha is the proud mother of one son and daughter and one grandson. She is a trainer, a consultant, and the founder and CEO of Another Level Consulting, LLC. Monica is a proud wife, mother, and grandmother. She is a consultant, a capacity strategist, and founder and CEO of Straight Strategies, tongue-tied, and solutions. Let's give a hand for our trainers on this evening.
Yay!
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Sandy, I think I'm looking for my stuff here. I don't know what happened. Okay. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining this call. We are so pumped about this. So I'm gonna try to contain my enthusiasm. So y'all who know me know I can get really pumped and like go way over the top. I really love serving people in this way. This is really my gift. I discovered it, really discovered it probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago. So, it's just been, it brings me life. I mean, it's just one of the things I'm so grateful for. And so before I get started, I'm going to do a couple of housekeeping things. So first thing is, if you're not talking yet, go ahead and mute yourself just so there's no background noise. Actually, tell you what, I'll mute everybody and then I'll unmute myself. So give me 1 second. All right. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, good. And then you can unmute yourself. So, all right. So I'm going to start with a little bit, just kind of introduction of who I am. Then I'm going to turn it over to Tasha, and we're going to talk about why we're here and what we really believe, how we can add value to your life. As Sandy said, I am the founder and the owner of Spate Strategies and Solutions. And basically what Spate Strategies and Solutions is a training and development organization where my goal is really to provide organizational development for usually ministries and nonprofits, and then personal development to individuals, no matter what walk of life they're in. I started kind of my work around organizational development. I have a master's in organizational development. It was really important to me that organizations treated people well and had really good systems so the people that they served would actually thrive. But the more I did organizational development work, the more I started to realize that healthy organizations are really made up of healthy people. And if people aren't healthy, it doesn't matter how good your system is, your organization is not going to thrive. And so God began to deal with me about it's the people building people. My dad used to say, before he passed, he used to say, as a pastor, he wasn't into building a church. He was into building people. And so that's what I realized. The more that I could help build and mature people, the better they would be no matter what facet of life that they're in. And so that's kind of how I got into more of the coaching and training part. And, you know, I have, a master's in organizational leadership and undergrad in social work. I will be a certified intrinsic coach, actually the end of October. And I've been coaching for a while, but I decided I wanted a different type of coaching experience and training so I could add more value to the people that I serve. And so I'll have my certification in intrinsic coaching. And so, you know, it's really helped me understand how to get people to the place they want to be. And that's my majority of my goal, is helping people find out how they can be in the place that God has designed them. And I've always been engaged in some type of life planning or goal setting all of my life. I'm not sure I ever knew what it was then, but it's added such value to me. And as Natasha and I have worked together and been friends, we've realized how important it is that we participate with God in making sure that our life is on the place that He wants it to go. And so kind of that's who I am. That's how I got started. And I've been working with people and coaching people for years. You know, I have private clients, I have coaching groups, and I've seen such tremendous transformation. And so it's continued to allow me to move forward and do this work so that I can really help people maximize their lives. So I'm going to unmute Tasha.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. My name is Natasha Hughes. I am the CEO of Another Level Training and Consulting Services. I have a degrees in behavioral science. This is my undergrad degree. I have a master's degree in leadership as well. Monica and I took that journey together. I am a master's staff trainer and development person. I'm actually a certified recovery coach, and I'm an internationally certified substance abuse counselor. I am transformational coaching is my theory that I use. Monica is going to be certified in intrinsic, and I'm certified in transformational coaching. And that's pretty much just what it says, just helping to transform from one level, another level, to another. So a little bit about my background. One of the reasons why I started on this journey is because I took a journey to change myself. And I like to call that my transformation journey that started years ago. Because of that, the reason for that was because I really found out that you keep doing what you're doing, keep getting what you're getting. So if you want different results, you have to do something different. And with God's help and with a lot of prayer and courage, I stepped out and my transformation journey began and still continues today. So I have a lot of years of experience as a counselor / coach. The coaching thing just kind of came into about 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, Monica and I began talking about this before the coaching, I guess, revolution came forth. But I've been doing this about 16 years as a counselor. A lot of my counseling experience is in coaching diverse populations to great results. And one of my mantras is sowing seeds of change, transforming lives. Because that's really that's what this program is about. We're going to help you. We're going to sow the seeds into you, and then it's up to you to water them and move forward. So again, how I got started, I began my transformation journey. And one of the things that I've always operated on is to-do lists. All right. I didn't quite know that that was really life planning, and it kind of evolved into that. And then learning the word of God that says a wise man leaves inheritance for his children's children. And that's what this life planning lab is all about. And that's why we're so excited to have you on the call tonight.
Thanks, Tosh. So we're going to jump right into this call. Our goal is, let me just lay out kind of how we want to do this. We're going to just share with you kind of the what, the why, the hows of the Intensive Life Planning Lab, what it's all about, to make sure you're very clear on what value we want to add to your life. And then we're just going to open it up for questions and conversation. And so I'm a big person about conversation. It's just not about a monologue, but this should be a dialogue, and we should have some conversation. Any questions that you have, we'll do our best to answer. If we don't, we will definitely get back to you. So I'm going to just hop right in here, and I'm going to just talk to you first about survey results. So many of you took our survey that really Tasha and I started thinking about this. And so let me just kind of give you a little background. Natasha and I go away, and she'll talk about that more, every year, and we do life planning. We take a weekend, like 3 or 4 days. Well, it started with 2 days. And then we realized 2 days wasn't enough because one day it was just chit-chatting about nothing. And then it turned into 3 days. And I think this year we're doing 4. I think it's 4 days. So we can really kind of flesh out, lay out what things are going to look like for us in the next year or so. So we had a few people ask us if they could, either come along with us or ask us how to do it. And so we had so many people inquiring. I said to Tosh, why don't we just offer something that we can actually walk people through this process, and then they can do it with their circle or their girlfriends or however they want to do it, but they'll have the tools that, that we use, and they can modify it for whatever, whatever works for them. And so we put a survey out. Thank you guys so much. We got great results from the survey. It was very interesting. We had 3 options. Option 1 was a 1-day intensive training, just kind of a 9 to 5. We'll lay it all out and put everything right there for you and do it in 1 day. We know that's intensive. And so the second option was to do it in 2 separate events on 2 separate weekends and spend 4 to 5 hours to kind of laying the foundation in the first one. The second one would really be putting things into action. And the third one was this was my favorite, y'all. I'm a little sad about this one, but we were going to do a weekend at the Hyatt. We called it the Hyatt in Cambridge. They had great prices for the rooms. And so we're working on that one, but we realized the time was so tight. We didn't want to ask people to spend so much money in such a short amount of time. But that was the third option. And so interestingly enough, the 2 results that got the most, almost 50% each, was the weekend at the Hyatt. 50% of our participants said weekend at the Hyatt. The other 50% said the 1-day intensive. So we looked at that information, realized, I'm looking at Stan smiling because he really wanted to go to the Hyatt. I realized kind of what that meant, and the planning logistics around that got a little kind of tough. But we decided to actually merge the weekend getaway with the option 1. And we're going to talk about how we're going to do an intensive planning lab, so that you still have time to think through a lot of things that we're going to be sharing, because it's the word intensive. Trust me when I tell you. So those were the 2 options we had. And so what we're going to do is take a hybrid of option 1, which is the 1-day planning, and option 3, which was the weekend getaway. And we're going to do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it to Tasha to talk a little bit more about how we came at life planning and kind of how we started this process. The other thing is, our plan though is that in 2018, we're going to do the weekend at the Hyatt. So we've already started planning that and thinking through that. So we give people plenty of time to save a little $25 a month, whatever you got to do. So we can take a weekend getaway as women and have a good time, get our life straight, get our money right, do all the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves, right? To really have self-care and spend time in a good, like I got my shirt, squad goals, like have a good squad around you, right? To help you get where you want to be. So Tasha, talk about kind of how we came to life planning, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. So it started out in 2012. As we shared with you before, Monica and I were kind of doing, we've been down with each other for forever, it seems like, but we were kind of doing our things separate, and we began to have a conversation about, this general, have you started your goals for the next year yet? No, haven't, I really need a break, because life happens. So we were talking about, wow, it would be good if we just took some girl time just to get away and have serene and pray and seek God and just put our thoughts down on paper. And that was back in 2012. Also around that time, we both discovered this guy named Michael Hyatt, who is an awesome virtual coach. And we began to follow him. And what he was working on then was this thing called a life plan. And we were that's what we do already. So let's check him out. And basically what we did is we kind of fine-tuned our plan. Well, he helped us fine-tune our plan to make it an actual holistic plan. Mm-hmm. We had some of the components, but he brought some more components to that, and it actually made it holistic. So holistic meaning covering every area of our life. So in 2012, we set out just to have some peace of mind and to get our plans together. Well, that has evolved. I think it started out as one night. We actually did one night, right? And what we found was we spent more time that night catching up on girlfriend stuff than we actually did working on our plan. So the next year it evolved to 2 days. So we said, we'll take one day to do girlfriend stuff. We'll take the next day to pray and seek God and do our plan. Well, when we got there, now, mind you, we go to different spots, right? We've been in Annapolis. I think last year we were down at the beach house. We've been different spots. So what we found that next year was, well, we didn't get to our life plan until later on in that day. So we said the next year we'll add another day. So long story short, this year we're at 4 days. So what we're going to try and do is go in, have girlfriend time the first, and this is the other piece, rest.
Yes.
Rest. We take the time to actually sleep. I don't talk to her. She doesn't talk to me. Nobody moves. Nobody say nothing for the first hours because we're tired and we realize that we live lives and we just need that rest from, our spouse, Monica's spouse, from the dog, the children, the kids, just rest. So basically, that's what that weekend is about. And that's how we got it started. And then in general conversation, we start and we say, we're going away. We start the conversation about October. Where are we going this year? What are we doing? Do we want to go far? Do we want to go near? Do we want to rest? Last year was actually my favorite. We were at the beach house, and this was so cool, guys. We were working on stuff. We really didn't get much work done last year because, of course, we had some life-changing events that kind of altered our plans. But what we did was we spent intimate time and just kind of refocusing and regrouping. But one of the favorite things we did, Monica's going to laugh, and I'm going to share. We're at the beach house. We're out on the deck. We spent the night outside. We spent the night outside. Woke up soaking wet. I thought it had been raining, but it was actually because we were right on the water. And it was just one of the most best times. And we kept saying, we got to do some work. We got to do some work. We got a few things done. But, God has graced us with this year. So this year planning, we're going into December with a bang, and I'm excited that you guys are interested in learning how to do that. Who knows where this thing can go? It may go national. I will give you this caveat, though. When you see the title, okay, for those of you that have been to Life Max workshops before, Intensive Life Planning Lab, that adjective was picked on purpose because this thing, it does get intensive. But guess what? We're serious about life. We're serious about going to the next level. We're serious about helping all of not only our sisterhood, but our mankind grow together. And this is how we're going to do it in cohorts, in groups, in squads, just like this.
Yep. Thanks, Tosh. So there it is. I won't even say anything about that. I'm just going to jump right in and talk about what is life planning. Raise your hand or type in the chat box, holler out if you're off of mute. How many of you do kind of annual goal setting? Like you make it a plan that every year you're going to set goals out for the next year.
Nice.
Okay. How many of you do life planning? Or have any?
Meaning holistic.
Kind of, and that's fine. That's fine. I just want to get an idea of where we are. So let me tell you more about life planning. I think most of us have done some type of goal setting, whether we follow through or not.
Right.
We probably set the goals.
Our intentions are good.
Yeah, we got good intentions. And so what life planning is, it's really not goal setting. So I want to be clear about that, because what we're not coming into this space to do is help you set goals for 2017 that you may or may not do again, right? And you get your feelings hurt because you're 6 months into it and you ain't lost no weight. You right back where you were. Matter of fact, you weighed 10 pounds more. Or life happened and you had no plan for how you're going to overcome that hump. I thought about when my dad passed last year. And let me tell you something. This is why life planning is important, because life planning is like a GPS for your life, right? And so when my dad passed last year, I've been life planning since 2012. Even though it was a very hard year and it rocked me to my core and knocked me, I'm just saying it was hard. I don't even know how to describe it. Because I have a life plan, I was able to get back on track and pick back up where I left off because I had a direction. So you know how you got your GPS, right, in your car? I don't even know how we drive without GPS. I know I used to. I don't know how I did that because I don't know how we did that. No MapQuest directions, that straight up, So here you do, you put your direction in, and then it asks you where you are, and it will say, what's your location and what's your destination, right? And so my location is up on Marlboro. My destination is Georgetown, Delaware. And so when I put it in and my car starts going and I'm headed in the right direction, right? Something happens that's a detour. There's a traffic accident. There's a backup, something hindering me from getting to my destination. What is it? Somebody holler out, what does that GPS say when you get off the route and you go a different direction? What does your GPS say?
Rerouting.
Rerouting. Recalculating route, right? And that's what your life plan helps you do. It gives you your starting point. You walk through kind of your destinations of your, what we call life accounts, parts of your life that are really important to you. And when you go off track, you have this kind of document, your manifesto, if you will, that tells you, where was I? Like, I've lost my way completely. You know, I lost somebody, something happened with my children, or I got married, or I got divorced, or I had kids, or, you know, I lost a child. Who knows? My child moved out. But because you have a plan, you have your GPS for life, those things don't stop you. And what happens with goal setting is, well, we'll get to this if you join our lab, is that we mistake our strategies for goals, right? And so we say things that we're going to do that are really strategies, but they're not really goals. So we're really helping you really unpack your thinking and expand your thinking about your life in a larger perspective. And then from that plan, you then can do goal setting in certain areas. And you can choose those areas where you really want to move forward. So life planning is about really creating a GPS for your life to help you really stay on point and get the life that you desire, right? We want to get where God has us to be. It's not a perfect plan, right? It doesn't have to be, because you're going to constantly update it. One thing we're going to be offering is we're going to do the life planning lab, but we're going to have quarterly check-ins. You'll have a chance to come back every 3 months or so and talk about, where are you? If you are checking in quarterly with your life plan, there's no way that you don't get where you need to be by the end of that year. Absolutely no way. Because you're checking in, you have an accountability system, and it makes sure that somebody can knock you back into reality and say, hold up, we prayed about this thing right here. God said this was the year that you were supposed to do X, Y, and Z. How do we get back on track with it? And so that's what life planning is about. And here's the thing that I love about it. Life planning is not taking the place of God. It is not planning your life out without God. One of the main things that I do in all of my coaching programs, and people who are in a 68-day challenge or work with me one-on-one know this, my role is to help you align your life with God's plan. So there's a lot of prayer that goes into this. This is not just doing vision boards, putting pictures on papers. This is really about finding the alignment with God. And when you align yourself with God, you don't think God already knows where the hurdles are going to be and can help you already kind of think through some of that stuff? You know, do you not think God knows where you're going to be 5 years from now? He can inform your present, knowing full well what's going to happen in your future.
That's right.
And so when you participate with God, life planning is being an active participant with God in the plan that I'm getting ready to preach. Let me calm down.
Not now, not yet. Hold it.
Being an active participant in the plan that God has for your life. It is so important. And when you align your plan with God's plan, I'm trying to tell y'all, my dad's death was probably one of the worst things that could happen to me. I told God, that's one thing you don't do. Don't take my dad. It was the worst thing that could have happened. And the fact that I'm sitting here, and I'm still moving forward with this program because I had a plan in place that said this was my life's work. And no matter what happened, my GPS recalculated me back to this spot. And that's what life planning is about. It's about getting you a GPS for your life that even when you get off track, you have something that's going to help reroute you and get you back where you need to be. So I'm going to calm down. I'm going to get excited, y'all. And I'm going to hand this over. We'll have questions and answers. Feel free to type them in the chat box. And when we get there or jot them down, we'll certainly go through those. So Tasha's going to take a few minutes to talk about why, I kind of talked about why life planning is important, but she's just going to kind of flesh that out and talk about it a little bit more.
Sure. So why do we life plan? I think Monica said it best when she gave the analogy of the GPS or the roadmap. It's kind of like, I always like to use this analogy. If someone walks into your local Wawa and says to the person behind the counter, I need a map. And the person says, sure, I have all kinds of maps. Where would you like a map to? And your answer is, I don't know. And the clerk says, but you say, I don't know, but I need a map. And the clerk says, but where to? And you say, I don't know. And it's just an on and on. In other words, the clerk can't help you because you don't know where you're going. And that's what the life planning is. It is. It's like a roadmap. It's like a GPS system. So it does a couple things. Number one, it helps us with clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Once we sort through and take the time to go through exactly in each area where we're trying to get to and rewrite that thing out, kind of like when Monica said, when we both had recalculating route, we could go back to that life plan and it sentence for sentence told us where we were supposed to be. Okay, so it gives us clarity. All right, and so it's not shady. It's not, you don't question it. You wrote this out, this was your intention, and that's where you need to be. The second thing it does is it gives us a mindfulness, all right? And in doing this, if you join us, I'm so excited about that, because one of the exercises will take you to a place emotionally, right? That some of us may have thought about, some of us may have not thought about, but it gives us a mindfulness about what is going on around us. It gave me a mindfulness about what is important in my life. Is this important? What has priority over what things, all right? It helped me to learn how to say no to some things and to some people, because my life plan said this is my focus. My GPS says we're going south, no detours necessary. And the last thing, again, it works as a GPS and a roadmap. All right. So when we get off course, now we have to do some work, because the Bible says faith without works is dead. So the work we have to do is to have enough courage and wherewithal to go back to the plan. Veer off. So again, it keeps us focused on our destination. All right. In your GPS, you put the destination in and it never wavers. The destination stays constant, and it's the same thing in your life plan. It's consistently reminding us of a couple things. Number one, it's consistently reminding us of our current location. The GPS always keeps track of where you are. The life plan does the same thing. It recalculates when necessary, all right? It will give you, and this is where the connection with God comes in. You have to stay connected, because he will let you know when the roadblocks are coming. And then lastly, our GPS always gives us an anticipated arrival at our destination. And that's one of the things that the life plan does, all right? Because as you mold this thing and shape it, you point these things out at the end. And this is the beauty. This is why I love God so much. Because once it's laid out, it just recalculates through. Your destination doesn't change. So, like, if you're like me, sometimes I have challenges in my emotions. Even when my feelings waver, my destination doesn't change. And that keeps me on track. Monica, everything okay?
Calm down, y'all. I'm telling you, this thing blesses my soul.
It really does.
Anyway.
And we get so excited about it because we know it works. I think that's the thing. We know it works.
And let me just say this. Tasha said this earlier about staying connected to God. How many times have you been in a location and you don't know where you're going and your GPS disconnects because there's a bad signal?
Yes.
You're scared out your pants. You
and
know
get
you
frustrated
in the backwoods or somewhere, and you ain't seen nobody who looks like you, or you know what's going on. I'm trying to tell you, I was in California over the summer, and we stayed at this place, and we pulled up. I told my coworkers, I don't know if I'm staying here with y'all. This is not a place for me. And it was really scary. And you know how you get to that place. And here's the one thing we got to understand about being our global positioning system. That's what GPS stands for. That positioning system is a system that when we're connected to God, he can continue to direct us. When you disconnect from him, I don't care what kind of plan you have in place, you have no idea where you're going. It's just that simple. Christian or not, it's just that simple. And so part of doing a life plan isn't about, again, taking God's place. It's about, God, I'm trying to connect with you so I can be in line with going where you need to take me at the time that you want to take me there. And I'm okay with detours and roadblocks or whatever destination you have, because I trust you. I've prayed, I've aligned myself with you, and I trust this is where you have me. And so I want you guys to just continue to keep that in mind when you think about what life planning is. And Tasha's right. It's not easy. It takes time and work. It's work well worth it, I'll tell you that. I spent more time wasting time doing stuff that I had no business doing, not really depending on God. I'll give you an example real quick and I'll move on. And Tasha don't even know this. As we were preparing for this call, right? So I do a lot of the web stuff, the marketing, the images, all of that stuff, right? And so I had this great idea for this commercial and it was really hot and I was loving it. And so I'm working on this commercial. And I'm like, oh, Tasha, this is so cute. And we can remind everybody. And so I'm sitting on it, worked on it for hours. And I'm like, why is this taking so long? It's not difficult. So I'm working on it. And so all of a sudden, I'm getting frustrated. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, where's your dependence on me? Are you trusting me that the people I want on this call are going to be on that call? Or are you trusting yourself? And at that moment, as a Christian, I was disconnected. And so even though I had a good idea of where I wanted to go and good intentions of a great commercial, God was like, but you're not connected to me, boo. So you can't get the download of where you need to be. Needless to say, y'all ain't see no commercial because I was like, I wasted 6 hours for nothing. But it's just a good reminder of when you disconnect from God and you're not really intentionally aligning with him, how our efforts are really futile, right? And so we got to be mindful of that. So I'm going to do one last thing, and then I'm going to be, I think, we're going to be finished. So let's tell you about what this life planning lab is. We've given you the background. I'm going to go real quickly through this, but I'm just going to share with you what we're offering with this intensive life planning lab. So this planning lab is going to be 5 weeks of guided coaching and training. 4 weeks, this is where the hybrid comes in. 4 weeks of this training is going to be virtual. It's going to be online. And so we're either going to have a membership site or we're going to use our Facebook group. Whether or not you're active on Facebook, it's not necessary to be active on Facebook. It's just necessary to be active in the group. We're thinking about a membership site. We're working through that. And if that isn't something that is going to work out for this group, then either way, the Facebook, it'll be a private group just for life intensive lab participants. So we're going to do 4 weeks of guided training. We're going to do the 1-day event, which is about a six and a half or so hour event where we're really going to talk about drifting. We're going to talk about self-awareness. We're going to have some empowerment talks, professionals who can really help you stay on track. You have an opportunity to network. If you're a business owner, bring your stuff. I'm all about people marketing their stuff and getting it out there. I'm all about connecting people. Even after the event is over on that Saturday, and we'll give you the dates and times, even after the event is over that Saturday, we're going to keep the group open for an additional week, just so we can continue to tighten up some things. If you have any questions, we're going to give you another week of guided coaching and training. We're going to weekly lay out the foundation, and so you'll have weekly training modules that you'll have that's going to walk you through the process. You're going to get virtual coaching in the group, but you're also going to have a chance to do a one-on-one coaching with a certified coach, myself or Tasha. And so that value is $150 by itself. My coaching rate is $150 per hour. So it's not even an hour, it's actually 40 minutes. And so we're actually going to give you time to work with us one-on-one and really hear what you're working on, what your concerns are, not necessarily group, so we can help guide that process. You're going to have community support. Any 68-day challengers on here can say enough about community support and how that thing will change your life. It's so valuable. We're praying for you. We're going to have conversations. We're going to send out a survey that's based on your needs to make sure that we are connecting the dots for you. So this is a customized training for those who are in the group. You're going to walk away with knowing the difference between strategies and goals. You're going to have practical tools, not just a bunch of talk and making you feel good, but practical tools to develop and accomplish your goals. We're going to have a vision board activity that you don't have to participate in. It's optional. And let me just say right here, when we talk about vision board, I'm not talking about cutting out pictures, pasting them on some poster board.
That's right.
The vision board activity that we do is called Write the Vision. And what we do is before we even put a vision board together, we bathe our life in prayer. And we're asking God, what is your intent for me this year? And the pictures that we begin to cut out of magazines are the ones that's already been prayed over because God has already told us, here's where my focus is. So your vision board is intentional because you've already asked God, what do you want me to put on this board? What is important to me? What is important to you? And so if you don't want to be a part of that activity, it's not necessary. You're going to walk away with your plan. That's the goal. Now, what you put into this is what you get out. Just like school, you put the intention and the energy in, you'll get out what you want. If not, that's something you'll take responsibility for. And that's cool. If you need more time, it's really up to you. We're not forcing you. You're going to have your lunch, your power snack stations. Your materials are all included. We're going to be using Michael Hyatt's curriculum. But it's not all of his curriculum. It's part of the base for our group, but we're very much going to make it customized for you. So there are some things we're going to follow and some things that we're going to modify. So all the materials are included. Access to the virtual community, again. And so you're going to have a full-fledged experience of 5 weeks of coaching and training to help you get to where you need to be so that you can actually develop your life plan. Did I miss anything, Tosh?
Nope, I think you covered it all.
You want to talk about when and where?
Sure will. So the virtual part of this program starts in November. We're looking at November the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, and the 30th. We will not have a group the week of Thanksgiving because we know that's family time. So you're looking at those 4 days. The time is to be announced. We'll probably put a part of that in a survey just to see what kind of works for everybody. And then the 1-day seminar, we're going to be, that's actual face-to-face coaching, is on Saturday, December the 3rd. And that location will be in Seaford at the Comfort Suites Hotel. All right. So, and I know for some of my people that are on the Western Shore, I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's so far away. But I want to encourage you, also my people that are local, to encourage you that this is an investment in yourself. Okay. So when you invest in a coach, I think that's one of my top priorities on my life plan is in my financial budget is to allow monies to continue to invest in my coaches, because Monica and I have coaches and mentors as well. So think about that. Think about the investment of time. I know it's going to be investment of time, investment of travel, but you're investing in you. And what better thing to invest in than for your personal development, spiritual development, so on and so forth. So please, again, I encourage you to invest. If you have any questions about that, you can hit Monica and I or Monica or I on Facebook, and maybe email us if you're concerned, don't quite understand what we mean by investing in ourselves. And I would love to share with you, because that's a lesson I actually had to learn. Because sometimes we're conditioned that we come last. Not only sometimes as a people, but also sometimes as women, we put ourselves last. So I encourage you, just consider investing in you. I'm telling you, it will give you and God a 100-fold return.
Absolutely. So I'm going to finish up talking about kind of what the investment is and what our pricing is. And we're just going to open it up for, again, conversation and for questions first. And then if people have comments. And so, and I'm just going to be straight with you, right? So one thing I don't do and I don't like is to be sold. I want to tell you what the value you get. And really, honestly, guys, it really depends on where you are in your life at this moment and what is God speaking to you. And that's one thing, like Tasha, that I've learned is that investing in myself isn't about me. It's really investing in my family, my children, my legacy. And I think about that again. When my dad passed, one of the things, and I think this is why this is so important to me, this is kind of the legacy that he left me. We're all about training and development. And one thing I realized is that his investment in himself that I thought was sometimes like, you're always in school, you're always doing this, and what about us, was really why I'm sitting here today. And it's really taught me that when you invest in yourself, it's more than about you. It's about the people that God has called you to serve, and the people in you that will actually serve you, and to really make sure that people see your good works, right? And so they can glorify me, right? So my goal is to help people see your good work so you can glorify God, so they can glorify him. And so our goal, number one, is to get the information to you. And we're able to give, I think, a great price because we're doing this in a group setting. And as I said before, the price of a 1-hour coaching call is $150. And so the investment for this alone, with everything that we're offering, the 5-week session and everything alone, is $900. But we are offering this course for 5 weeks of training. Now I'm thinking about it. 5 weeks of training, all the materials, your lunch, all you bring is yourself for $150. And if you are on this call to everybody on this call.
Say
that again, Monica.
Why? What's going on?
I'm just coming from a place of, did we talk this weekend?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
The heck?
Yeah, 150. I'm great. Mute you. Well, so why? You saying it's pretty?
Yeah, I mean, can she elaborate? What is that for, Monica? Monica Spain.
Okay, so did I post to this group or to our 68-day challenge alumni group that I was a little frustrated because I felt like I was not being compensated at the rate of my intellectual property. And so when I hear these gurus on this section tell me this is only $150, I just have to say, what? And I'm not being paid by them anymore. I want everyone to know I'm not being paid by them, but my gosh, what?
So let me tell you why. Let me give you the dates and stuff first, and I'll get back to that. So it's $150. That's what it is, right? And we're limiting this group to only 20 people.
Yeah.
If anybody's ever worked with me, you know that I very seldom do groups more than 20, 25,
Right.
because I like to work with people. I want to give people attention and be intentional about serving them. And so it's very important to me that we keep groups small. So 20 people is the number. And you have until, let me say this. The first part of the session, the virtual training, is going to be in November. So the first week of November until the last week of November, you'll have your sessions online. And that Saturday, December 3rd, and we'll have all this information for you. I'll send it out. Saturday, December 3rd is going to be the one-day training. I don't know if Tasha said that. She may have. I don't know.
Yes.
You did? I'm sorry. Maybe
That's okay. That's the actual, the whole thing is intensive, but that one day is 6 hours of intensive life planning
and learning. Yeah.
With professionals coming in to speak with us. We're going to have, talk about emotions. We're going to have a professional come in on that. It's just going to be power packed.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're on this call, and Monica, you think you're really be mad at me now. So if you're on this call and you decide to be part of this experience, and this is why I wanted everybody's name. And so here's what I'm going to do. If you are on this call, my email, I'm going to put it here. If Monica, email me here. You know what? I'm going to have you email me here. I'm going to put it in the chat section. Okay. I'm going to email me and say, hey, I was on the call, on the Intentional Life Planning Lab call, and everybody who does that will have a special link that you can actually be a part of this experience for $125.
I put my email in as well, Monica.
Okay, so you can email myself or Natasha, and you get it for $125. If you're not on the call, then the experience is going to be $150. And this is why we were doing the informational call, to make sure we had a chance to give people time, and we'll keep this that price for you until October 7th, because we're actually going to open up the group. We're going to actually send all the information out on Wednesday. So look in your emails, make sure we have your email address, because on Wednesday I'm going to send a blast out to everybody who registered online and gave us your email address. I'm going to send a blast out to you, and all you have to do is respond, and you have until October 7th to get that pricing. And after that date, it's just the $150, which is still a steal. And so since Monica raised this question, and Tasha, feel free to join and help me explain this. So when we really thought about this pricing, I'm the one that's always trying to go way low, because I'm always trying to get information to people, and I want them to pay because it's important that you invest, but I really want to get it to them. So we've been around this, and Monica and I, she's actually helps me with my bookkeeping. And so, she's always like, what? But here's what's really important to us. It is so important to me to get the information to you.
Yes.
It really is.
And to serve you.
And to serve you. And I don't want, and I know at some point, I will tell you this is the lowest it's ever going to be. That's what you know that. This is the lowest it ever will be. But it's more important for me, because it's the first time we're doing the intensive lab, that we price it in a way that we don't exclude people. Like, it's really important for me that people get this information. It benefits our world when you're a better person. It benefits your community, your family. And so I'm not going to price an event, and I don't know if I'll ever get there, and Span just have to be on my case. about it.
And my accountant on mine.
Yeah, and I'll just have to, I'll take whatever. It's just what it is. It's really important the information gets to you. And so if it's a value to you, great. And Tasha and I just came from a training in May. 3 days. It was just workshops and a couple of power talks and no one-on-one coaching unless you paid separately and no all of that stuff, right? And we paid like $400 for no intensive nothing.
400 plus, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Oh, it sure was. So that's what, that's the value that, when you're thinking about investing in yourself, guys, I'm telling you, my coaching training is way more than that. But because it's really important for us to get that value to you. And guess what? If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to do the same thing at some point, right? You're going to invest in yourself. And if you're really passionate about it, you want to get it to people. So, we wanted to make sure this was priced in a way that everybody who wanted at least the first 20, right, who wanted to be a part of this experience could actually be a part of this experience. And I know, Span, it ain't going to change. Like, it's not going to go up. So it's just what it is. And we'll talk about it later.
Not this time.
Not this time. And so that's
for the launch. You guys, I'm sorry, Monica. You guys are on the cusp because this is the launch. We'll talk a little bit. Look at Sandy shaking her head. Sandy is our Life Max alumni. Everybody say hi to Sandy.
And part of our team.
Yeah, part of our team, absolutely. But this is the launch for this, and you're actually on the launch of Life Max Institute. We'll talk to you a little bit about that in the training as well. But I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it. That's the Life Planning Lab in a nutshell. And we just wanted to make sure we gave you as much information as we could possibly give you. And now we're done talking. Thank you guys for bearing with us for this
Absolutely.
time. It's a long time to be talking. But now we're going to open it up to you guys for questions, comments, anything that you may need, anything that, whatever. I think I'm going to unmute all. And I'll just tell you what, if you have background noise, just mute yourself and then unmute yourself when you're ready to talk. And so everyone's unmuted, and thank you for listening. And now the floor is open for question and answers.
Thank you so much, guys.
Anybody have a question?
Monica, this is Nadine. I'm on the telephone, so yeah. So I didn't get the information on the computer. So can you give me your email so I can shoot you out?
I sure can. It's Monica at SP the number 8 strategies.com.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Thank you. I'm so glad to hear your voice.
The pleasure is all mine.
Oh, I love you.
Maybe.
Oh, love you too, sweetheart. Yeah. Probably love you more if that's possible.
And I'm just going to shout out Tasha's too. Hers is NHUGHES at anotherlevelconsulting.co, not .com, .co. And Hughes at anotherlevelconsulting.co. So you can email both of us for that participant, the call participant rate. Any other questions? Comments, thoughts, need clarity?
Feedback.
Yeah, feedback.
Wow. For me, it's just awesome just to hear, because I know what the cost is for professional services, and to be able to come in at this level and to be blessed, it's just awesome. I'm just excited about that. So I'm just grateful to God that God has allowed you guys to share your gifts with so many people, and at a price that would make it affordable for people. It's just a blessing.
Thank you. That's what it's all about.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister Nadine. Any other questions?
Anybody else have feedback?
I think somebody asked.
Hi, Monica.
Hi.
This is Tessie. You're probably seeing a darkness right now. I'm driving home from another meeting. But I wanted to know if you pre-recorded this or if you recorded this so that I could, not pre-recorded, but recorded it. I have 2 other sisters that I want to forward the information to.
Yes, I did record this, and once I edit the video, I will get it out to you.
Okay, wonderful. I will probably be joining you. I have to check my dates, but this sounds too good to pass up.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm looking forward to serving you.
Hey, Tess.
Hey, Tasha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm glad to hear your voice.
All right, I'm going to mute myself back and drive safely now.
Yes, please do.
All right, please do. Please do.
All right, love you all.
Love you.
Have a good one.
All right.
That's Tessie. She's another one of our Life Max alumni.
And making sure, guys, when you, we had some technical things on the website, I think, when you were signing up. So make sure when you subscribe and you give us your name and email address, that you confirm your subscription so that we can make sure you're getting the updates. And so if you have a problem with that, email me at that same address and let me know, and I'll add you and make sure it's sent to you.
Okay.
So I'll give you that information as well. Anybody else? Any other questions? I think somebody asked, when is the money, when is the money due? Well, the 125 is going to be open until October 7th. And then after October 7th, it goes to 150.
Okay.
Yeah. And if anybody has any questions or need to email me about something, feel free to email me and let me know. Any other questions? And I think somebody has background noise, so make sure you mute yourself, please.
Monica, this is Paulette. And I have a question. I'm definitely interested. This is like perfect timing for me.
Awesome.
So needed. But I have pre-plans for one weekend in November, and I probably wouldn't be able to come one weekend in November. Or is it any way I could like make that up? Or
Yes. So here's the great thing about virtual training that I love, is that the modules that you'll get are, you're going to be doing our goal is for you to do it weekly, because it's going to be so much information. It's hard to absorb it all at one time. But you'll get weekly, and when you can work on it, no matter where you are, vacation or wherever, you're going to have the video training, and you're going to have whatever downloads that go with that you're going to need.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep. So everybody who registers, we're going to actually, we have the materials. We're ordering our materials this week, just because by faith we believe we're going to have a full group. So we're going to order the materials, and I trust. And so when we get our materials, and those who have registered, we're going to get those materials to you, and you'll kind of, before that first week in November. So you'll have a chance to start skimming and thinking through some things. So no matter where you are for the month of November, you can be in Aruba, or you can be in Jamaica, you can be in China, and you can still log on and do the work that you need to do.
Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am. I'm all about technology. I'm looking forward to it too. Any other questions?
I am too. I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys. I'm telling you, once you get a hold of this, it's really going to change your life.
It really does. Any other feedback?
Hey, it's Monica. What are the dates again?
So the 1 day in session is December 3rd, Saturday, December 3rd, in Secret Delaware.
Okay. But
and
then
November is going to be, we're looking at the days, but it's going to be, we're thinking the 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 30th. It's going to be the week of, we're skipping Thanksgiving. So during those weeks, 1 day during each week in November, except Thanksgiving. And then we're going to stay on the week after the 3rd. So that 3rd and all the way to that following Saturday, you're going to have access to the online group. You can actually, have the materials and things that you need.
okay.
Yeah.
2nd November.
Anyone else have any questions, comments, feedback for us? So does this sound like something that you guys, I know some of you have already shared that you'd be interested. Anybody kind of teetering? No?
Nope.
Okay. Ready, set, grow.
Amen.
So if there are no more, we did good, Tosh. It's not even 9 o'clock
Woo-hoo.
And so this is the platform we'll also use when we do the training in the groups. We'll use this platform. You'll have an option to use this as well, recorded trainings and all that. So you'll have the information. So anything you want to say before I close out, Tasha?
No, I just want to thank everybody for their time, taking the time out to do this, taking the time out, not only to spend time with us, but to invest in yourselves. And I'm excited. Of course, I hope to see you all on this journey, and I am prepared to serve you. I get excited about serving. That's my heart. That's my passion. So please know that we're working in the backfield. We've been working for a while. We burn the midnight oil sometimes. I'm looking up. Monica's cross-eyed. I'm cross-eyed. We said we just got to start tomorrow. But I want you to know that's the type of coaches that you have. We're ready and we're preparing to serve you. Thank you guys so much.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.